hit a home run and brought the Yankees the American League pennant. Tom?
John Johnson is somewhere in that crowd. We hope he's still alive and well, and he and Peter Bannon, who is in the Yankee locker room, will be bringing us some live reports. Stay tuned.
I'll have the videotape highlights of the biggest Yankee win in 12 years.
And the New York Yankees are the champs. After a 12-year drought, Chris Chambliss put one out of the ballpark. The Yanks have won the American League pennant by beating the Kansas City Royals in their playoff series.
This is Eyewitness News, Thursday, October 14th, 1976.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tom Ellis, and you know what the story is tonight. And John Johnson is at that story. He's outside Yankee Stadium right now, and I guess you could describe it as pandemonium. John?
We are here. We're number one. The Yankees have done it. It was a great game. Everybody is here. Right here with me is when Chris Chambliss hit that home run. This is the guy who got the ball. All right? How do you feel having that ball?
Oh, very good, man. Very good.
New York needed this win. New York needed the Yankees to win, right? What do you got? Would you sell me that ball?
No, not for $1 million.
For $1 million. All right. All right. Now, wait a minute. Cincinnati is next. New York needs a World Series. Is that right? Do we need a World Series? We certainly do. It's pandemonium here. It is a great night for New York. I love the game myself. Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold it. Are we going to beat Cincinnati?
Yes, you're going to beat them. In order to beat them, you have to eat my cookie. New York's number one.
New York's number one. All right. It's not a pandemonium here. It's a great night for New York. It's a great night for the Yankees. And we are number one. This is John Johnson. Back to you now, Bill.
Thank you, John. Sal Marchiano said it would be the Yankees in 4. It really took 5, but it is the biggest victory in over a decade, and we won't hold that being one off against you, Sal. Tell us about the game.
We had it all the way, Bill. And you know, John said a very good thing tonight. This is really a great moment for New York. We've got a lot of problems in the Big Apple, but tonight, New York is number one. The Yankees have won the American League pennant after 13 runs and 22 hits in the 5th and deciding game. Chris Chambliss with some old-fashioned Yankee 9th inning lightning won the game 7-6 as seen on ABC. Now let's take a look at all the highlights, starting with the first inning. Remember that the Royals jumped ahead of the Yankees in that first inning. Ed Figueroa on the mound. John Mayberry followed George Brett's double with a high fly homer, and Kansas City led by a score of 2-0. A helicopter look at Yankee Stadium tonight. A record crowd on hand. SRO, they jammed it. And here you see Mayberry taking the steam out of the Yankees and the entire big crowd with that first inning 2-run homer. But there was more to follow. In the Yankees' first at-bat, Mickey Rivers tripled and scored on Roy White's infield hit. Royal starter Dennis Leonard didn't survive the inning because White stole second base and couldn't score when Thurman Munson hit a single to left field. Tom Poquette in left field made a strong throw. Mayberry was the cutoff man. Munson went to second base, so the Yanks had second and third. Paul Spidoff replaced Leonard, and Chris Chambliss, who was to be the hero of the night, hit a sac fly to left field, scoring White for a 2-2 tie. Now we're in the Kansas City second. Cookie Rojas, the 15-year veteran infielder, stole second base with a fall-away slide, evading Willie Randolph's tag. Now this was a big play because Bucky Martinez singled to right field, scoring Rojas, and the Royals had the lead again, 3-2. Oscar Gamble with an error there. In the Yankees' third, Spidoff gave up a single to Rivers and a walk to White, and Munson knocked in Mickey with a single. The score was tied again at 3-all, and White took third base. Chambliss followed with a grounder to second, and on the force-out, White scored, and the Yankees led 4-3. It was quiet till the Yankees' sixth. Munson's hit to right, his 10th of the series, scored Mickey Rivers from second base. Munson was cut down at second, but the Yankees led 5-3. Later in the inning, Chambliss, who single, stole second base and scored on Brett's throwing error off Carlos May's tapper. The Yankees led by 6-3. Safe, No, because in the Kansas City eighth, the Royals chase Figueroa, and with first and second, Grant Jackson pitching. George Brett, the American League's hitter of the year, smacked a homer into the right field seats. A 6-6 tie till Chris Chambliss in the bottom of the ninth. The first pitch, going, kiss that baby goodbye. The Yankees won the American League pennant on that home run, and Chambliss had to fight his way around the bases. The crowd spilled onto the field. Look at him coming in from right field, from left field, from behind home plate. Chambliss must have felt he was in a nightmare. He had to knock over people to get to third. He still doesn't know if he touched third base. He still doesn't know if he touched home plate. Look at the mob scene. Chambliss fighting his way to the plate. He is 1976's version of Bobby Thompson, who thrilled New Yorkers 25 years ago with his home run that won the pennant for the New York Giants. And Mark Lytle must feel like Ralph Branca tonight. Look at the overhead view of the crowd on the field. The Yankees 7-6 winners. They have won the American League pennant. They will go into the World Series starting Saturday in Cincinnati. It'll be a best-of-7 against the Cincinnati Reds, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to talk about that series. Right now, behind me, you can see the crowd on the field. We are trying to establish whether we're going to Peter Bannon in the Yankees clubhouse. We are. Peter, can you hear me?
Yes, Sal, you hear me?
Yes, come on in.
Okay. With me, Mr. George Steinbrenner, the owner of the Yankees, who is a very happy man right now. Did Chambliss ever touch home plate?
Peter, I believe he did, but if he didn't, we grabbed it and ran off with it anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Nobody can find it.
That is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in baseball.
It was a great finish, and I'm happy for Chris, but I'm most happy for Grant Jackson because he's been a great pitcher for us, and he just didn't deserve that kind of a fate, and I'm glad they pulled it out for him. And I'm proud of Mickey Rivers particularly because he went out there today and did a hell of a job.
4 out of 5.
And when Rivers goes for us, this team goes. And I'm just so proud of our guys and happy for New York City. That's the big thing.
Okay, Sal Marchiano's back there, and he wants to ask a couple of questions.
Sure.
I'll let the relay. Go ahead, Sal.
George, can you hear me? George cannot hear me. Peter, just say this. I really don't want to ask George anything. I want to congratulate him because he took a lot of heat when he took over the Yankees, and he's made them winners. And I just want to congratulate George for the job he's done in organization and in leading this team.
Thank you. Okay, we have an horrendous technical difficulties complicated by champagne short-circuiting, but Sal says congratulations.
Well, tell him thank you, and everybody at ABC, they did a fantastic job on the American League and National League playoffs. You couldn't have asked for more exciting coverage or baseball. I thought they were great. I just want to thank you people.
Okay, we'll try to get our act together here and move around the locker room. It's just a massive confusion behind us, and we'll be back with you a little later. Back to you, Sal.
Okay, Peter, we will go back to the Yankee locker room later in the program, and I'll tell you what, if you stay up, we're going to give you another view of Chris's home run. Bill?
Well, there was news other than Chris Chambliss's home run, and we'll look at that news in just a moment when Eyewitness News continues after these messages.
In 1797, a man was jailed for wearing a silk top hat. Years later, the Duke of Wellington was barred from his club for wearing trousers instead of breeches. Today, fashion doesn't dictate, and nobody could be happier about this than Barney's, where our only fashion point of view is to offer them all.
Just one moment, sir. Jackets are required here, sir.
You must be Charles. I'm Pete. I own the place.
Barney's, we're big enough to treat you as an individual.
Tutte le hostess della Pan Am devono parlare almeno 2 lingue. कोई 3 या 4 भाषाएं भी बोल सकती हैं.
Vous ne l'attendez pas moins d'une compagnie aérienne internationale.
Pero cuando usted se encuentra lejos de su hogar, sabemos que hay un idioma que usted siempre desea escuchar.
Und das ist die Sprache, die jede Pan Am Stewardess spricht.
Y'all have a good time now. You hear?
Hey, no one's around, and here's those 16 irresistible Friskies buffet varieties. Wow, mixed grill with liver and kidney. And tuna and kidney. Fantastic.
Nobody home. That's 3 on this block. Too bad.
And Chris Chambliss's 9th inning homer. Before we take another look at it, let's go to Peter Bannon in the Yankees clubhouse, which should be a happy place.
Okay. All right. Yeah, It's working. It's now working. We think we're... Hey, Batman and Oscar, what's happening?
Oh, yeah, everything happening. We're just excited. I'm just excited.
Going to Cincinnati. It was one ball, man. It came down to one ball.
That's what it came down to, one ball. And, you know, we figured if we could get them out, that we had all our left-handers coming up, you know, that last inning, and we did, you know. And I figured one of us was going to get a home run. And Chris hit it, you know. So it was just great.
What do you want to talk about?
Thurman Munson's with it. Thurman, how about your neck? How's your throat?
How's yours?
Excuse me. Thurman Munson seems to have recovered pretty well.
You know, you feel...
Hey, do you feel... did you get over that little kind of, you know, earlier faux pas?
Did I do what now?
Get over the faux pas from earlier in that, you know, the beginning there? You got your act together towards the end, right?
Yeah, you know. We started out, everybody was up, and then, you know, we hit that home run. I thought I had a chance, you know, when he hit it, but it kept carrying it. It went out. And then the one Brad hit, it just did go out, too. The ball was going good tonight, but, you know, they just did go over the fence. I couldn't tell what I could, you know, climb up on the fence and try to knock them back in, but I couldn't get to them.
Okay, listen, we are absolutely up to our ankles in champagne. We'll be back as things develop.
Thank you, Peter. Chris Chambliss tonight had 3 hits, 3 RBIs. He had 11 hits for the series. Let's take a look at the biggest hit. Bottom of the ninth, Mark Lydell pitching for Kansas City. First pitch, and Chambliss going for the seats on a 6-6 tie. High fly ball. Hal McRae went with the leap. There was a moment of indecision. Did he have it in that glove? No, he didn't. The cops came pouring out. So did the fans. And Chris Chambliss began his victory trot around the bases with all those fans coming out. This is certainly worth another look. Jubilation, for sure. And, of course, the fans not understanding that this could be a serious thing. Somebody could get hurt. I want to hold the picture till Chris gets into the dugout, because right about here he knocks a guy down with one of the best blocks seen in New York, right there. As Chambliss into the dugout, Yanks win 7-6, quite a story. Yankees American League pennants. Bring on those Cincinnati Reds. Tommy?
Okay. Storm's going to be at the weather map with, looks like a pretty good one, when we come back.
This has been a presentation of WABC TV News.